So as the battle for the internet continues, and I definitely notice Drake pumping a lot of time into influencing the influencers, trying to bend narratives, and continue throwing the mud in the hate on Kendrick campaign. I thought it was a perfect time to remind ourselves why Kendrick is one of the greatest MCs of all time. This right here, right now, is a special breakdown of DNA.
Kendrick Lamar. 2 first names, huh? The fuck is up with that? You know what DNA stands for? Dead Nigger Association. Yeah.
Lamar's taking views on police brutality with that line in the song. Quote.
I think for me, there's a layer to this in the fact that obviously Don Cheadle, shout out to Don, shout out to Kendrick Lamar's outfit, Kung Fu Kenny. Don Cheadle in Rush Hour played Kenny. That apparently inspired Kendrick Lamar's Kung Fu Kenny from Rush Hour. So it's only fitting that you get Kendrick Lamar in the Kung Fu Kenny outfit, getting ready to just kick out bars. And you got Don Cheadle playing this police officer detective character. And obviously you have the lie detector test right there. And the devil's in the details. What song plays as Cheadle walks out? You can hear what's going to be the next song on Damn with Ya. That comes right after DNA. But just wait. Notice how with the door slam, the background music stops as well, almost indicating just a shift sonically and us to kind of tune in and pay attention. And then all you hear now is the footsteps. I just love the sound fully on this and the way that it's used, just to scene set and just to like create different emotions.
Kendrick Lamar.
But for me, when he mocks Kendrick Lamar's DNA and flips the acronym, I think it's important that it's coming from Don. Because to me, Kendrick is making a greater statement. Obviously, excuse my lack of melanin levels, but this song is about the celebration of African-American culture, about the roots of hip-hop, but Kendrick Lamar's African roots and his pride in all of that. And it's important to me that who is critiquing him? It's not a white man critiquing him here. It's not a white cop, right? This is Kendrick saying that we're not even uplifting our own culture. We're constantly undergoing this sort of attacking each other and tearing each other down when we should be unified, when we should be lifting each other up. I think that's why Don Cheadle is chosen. And also the obvious thematic and meta wall breaking of Kung Fu Kenny.
2 first names, huh?
And he's just a dope actor.
The fuck is up with that? You know what DNA stands for? Dead Nigger Association. Yeah.
Lamar's taking views on police brutality with that line in the song. Quote. And we hate the popo. Want to kill us in the street. Oh shit.
I don't like it. I got loyalty.
I don't like that. And it comes into play later. You got the Fox News reference right there. Geraldo Rivera, right after Kendrick Lamar played at the BET Awards. And he performed, all right, on top of the police car, right? And protesting police brutality. Fox News went on this whole Kendrick Lamar smear campaign saying that hip-hop is doing more damage to black youth than racism, and using Kendrick Lamar in his music, and ironically, the message of All Right as an example of that it's working against the socially conscious movements. And, you know, Kendrick Lamar's stance on giving a voice to those who don't have a voice is somehow being twisted and manipulated to that it's solely a glorification of violence, and it's tearing down the minds, and it's tearing down the streets. I love how Kendrick uses that and incorporates that into the song. And he doesn't even have to address it. He just lets the theme and the art of this song speak for itself as a response to it.
I don't like it. I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though ambition, flow inside my DNA. I was born like this, it's born like this, immaculate conception. I transform like this, perform like like this was Yoshua, new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your fucking head. This that put the kids to bed. This that I got realness. I just kill shit cause it's in my DNA. I got millions, I got riches building in my DNA. I got dark, I got evil that rot inside my DNA. I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA. I just
Yo, Cheeto killed this performance.
win again, then win again like Wimbledon I serve. Yeah, that's him again. The sound the engine in is like a bird. You see fireworks and Corvette tires skirt the boulevard. I know how you work, I know just who you are. See, use a bitch, your hormones probably switch inside your DNA. Problem is, all that sucker shit inside your DNA. Daddy probably snitch, heritage inside your DNA. Backbone don't exist, born on side a jellyfish I gauge. See my pedigree, most definitely don't tolerate the front. Shit I been through probably offend you, this is Parler's oldest son. I know murder, conviction, burners, boosters, burglars, ballers, dead, redemption, scholars, fathers, dead.
I love this playing this back and forth, and also just the simple setup of having them profile, but also notice the mirror behind them. Just kind of this added layer of reflection and just kind of bending what is identity and who's assuming who here with the lyrics.
I know murder, conviction, burners, boosters, burglars, ballers, dead, redemption, scholars, fathers, dead. With kids and I wish I was fed. Forgiveness, yeah. Soldier's DNA, born inside the beast. My expertise checked out in second grade. When I was 9, on sale motel, we didn't have nowhere to stay. At 29, I've done so well, hit cartwheel in my estate. And I'm gon' shine like I'm supposed to, antisocial extrovert. And excellent meaning extra work. And absentness, what the fuck you heard?
Man.
Passiveness never struck my nerve. And that's a riff gonna be this case. The reason my power's here. Salute the truth from the prophecy.
I'll tell you what, man, the flow on this is immaculate conception. And the rhyme schemes as well. Like, he's just got really dope MC and rhyme writing and just flow matching of the different bars and the different patterns. Let's bring this back and break this down now.
I don't like it. I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA.
Loyalty, got royalty. And this is where he starts this pattern of these internal rhyme schemes. Tap in, kick back out to external. Tap in, kick back out to external. And he keeps just compounding these internal rhyme schemes. But even a simple line like that, I got loyalty, I got royalty, right? I'm the product of a rich history. I'm the product of African kings and queens. That's what he's alluding to there, and embracing that richness of spirit and that diversity.
I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA.
Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace. I just love the way, again, that he fits that internal rhyme scheme, man. It sets that up. Shout out also to the book, War and Peace. But for me, Kendrick always talks about these two themes of light and dark, of violence and peace. And he always has that conflict within his own spirit. But it's also reflective of the conflict that he sees in the streets and where he grows up.
Inside my DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power.
Or you could even say, like, he's not really talking about peace, right? He's just leaning into the war and how he feels, because he's got war and he's got a peace inside his DNA, right? Because he's carrying
DNA. Cocaine quarter piece, got war and peace inside my DNA. I got power, poison, pain, and joy inside my DNA. I got hustle, though ambition, flow inside my DNA.
Hustle, though ambition, flow. See again how he stays on the internals and then kicks back out to the DNA.
Was born like this, is born like this, immaculate conception. Not transform like this, perform like this. Was Yoshua, new weapon. I don't contemplate, I meditate, then off your fucking head. This that put the kids to bed. This that I got realness.
Man, I love that setup. But for me, like, the I got sounds like a turntable, right? Sets up almost like a record scratch and just like interrupting himself and just cutting in with that.
I was born like this, is born like this, immaculate conception.
Immaculate conception. And here's your religious references. And here's the theme that you see throughout Damn. And here's the theme that we've discussed before as well. When Kendrick deals with kind of this savior complex, right? And likening himself to Jesus and viewing himself as this savior to hip hop. And then how he deals with that, how people look upon him literally to save hip hop, to save the streets with his message, and just bearing all that weight on his shoulders. But he talks about the Immaculate Conception, right? The Virgin Mary who had the Immaculate Conception of Jesus. Well, he said he was born like this, Immaculate Conception, right? So he's comparing himself to Jesus.
Inside my DNA, I was born like this, is born like this, immaculate conception. Not transform like this, perform like this. Was Yoshua, new weapon. I don't
Yeshua, new weapon, right? Yeshua right there. the Hebrew reference. Again, referencing and tying in with Jesus.
Meditate, then off your fucking head. This that put the kids to bed.
Contemplate, meditate, off your head. Again, internal, back to X.
This that I got realness. I just kill shit cause it's in my DNA. I got
realness, I just kill shit cause it's in my DNA. Notice how it's almost like a marching band, right? And you notice underneath with this beat, boom, boom. It's kind of like when he's really emphasizing the syllable and he's punching in a syllable, that bass underneath is hitting alongside of it. Just to match this kind of very just peppered marching band like flow and rhythm that he sticks in, that he sits in this pocket, man.
I got realness. I just kill shit cause it's in my DNA.
See?
I got millions.
It's like 1, 2, 3, 4 on every bar.
I got riches building in my DNA. I got dark, I got evil that rot inside my DNA.
Yeah.
I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA.
I got rot, I got evil inside my DNA. He talks about riches, he talks about millions, he talks about all these things to lift himself up. The royalty, the loyalty to his people. But also, if you're going to have light, you have to have dark. And this is one of the things about Kendrick that I love, is that you have this consistency of who he is as an artist, right? And even though he expands on themes, he explores new things creatively, there's always this consistency with his discographies, this consistency with how he carries himself. And we've discussed on GNX, right? The Gemini, the leaning into the Gemini, the yin and the yang, the light and dark, this monk-like, spiritual, meditative stoic who embraces peace, but then also this warrior who's not afraid of violence and not afraid to cut his teeth in rap battles and in the game and do what needs to be done, right? That yin and yang. And here's that example of good and evil, light and dark, that he's embracing inside him and inside his own DNA.
Inside my DNA.
And it's almost like a power of solidarity, right? It's almost like not being afraid and not having filters and just showing the authenticity, but the battle that goes on within, because that's the same battles that he sees within Compton.
I got off, I got trouble, some heart inside my DNA. I just win again, then win again, like Wimbledon I serve. Yeah, that's...
Man, isn't it funny how the Wimbledon lines just make me think of Serena Williams and come all the way back around, right? The Compton connection coming back to the Super Bowl.
Him again, the sound the engine in is like a bird. You see fireworks.
But he serves his lyrics versus serving like Wimbledon.
I serve, yeah, that's him again. The sound the engine in is like a bird. You see fireworks and Corvette tire skirt the boulevard.
Fireworks, tire skirt, the boulevard. Again, the whole reason that this flow pattern works is because he sticks in this da 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 da, but he's still hitting 2 internal rhymes and then kick back out to the external. Next bar, 2 internal rhymes, kick back out to the external.
I know how you work. I
Very, very dope writing to maintain this consistency all the way through the verse.
know just who you are. See, use a bitch, your hormones.
I love how he says knows who you are, and it's Don Cheadle delivering that line to Kendrick, as Don is now kind of embracing and been infiltrated by Kendrick in like a Freaky Friday type of switch.
I know how you work. I know just who you are. See, use a bitch, your hormones probably switch inside your DNA. Problem is, all that sucker shit inside your DNA. Daddy probably.
You're a bitch, you probably switch, right? And what's interesting is that I wonder if this is the internal dialogue of Kendrick. If this is like the devil on his shoulder that's doubting himself and calling himself these things. Or if he's calling out the fake. You could take it internally, right? An introverted battle. Or you could take it externally, an extroverted battle. And obviously the extroverted battle here is between him and Don, who's a bitch, who's gone to the enemy essentially, gone to the police and gone to that side of things.
DNA. Problem is, all that sucker shit inside your DNA. Daddy probably snitch. Heritage inside your DNA. Backbone don't exist. Born on side a jellyfish, I gauge. See my pedigree, most definitely don't tolerate.
Jellyfish, why? Because jellyfish are spineless.
Born on side a jellyfish, I gauge. See my pedigree, most definitely don't tolerate the front. Shit I been through probably offend you. This is Parlor's oldest son. I know murder, conviction, burners, boosters, burglars, ballers, dead, redemption, scholars, fathers dead with kids, and I wish I was fed. Forgiveness, yeah.
Dead. Right, hang on.
Redemption, scholars, fathers dead with kids, and I wish.
Dead with kids in, fed, forgiveness. I just love the way that he fits in that rhyme scheme. But again, like just this painting of a picture. He's a great illustrator. Like this man would make a really dope author to me.
The front shit I been through probably offend
It's
you.
almost like Nas-esque, right? Just kind of like this street reporter and this street poetry and just painting and illustrating these images and not holding anything back with it and just really letting the art paint this picture surrounding Compton, surrounding what he's seen.
See my pedigree, most
The violence, the burners, the murders, everything.
definitely don't tolerate the front. Shit I been through probably offend you. This is Parlor's oldest son. I know
shit I've been through probably offend you. It's a really interesting line right there. And then I can't help but feel like that's a little bit towards the Fox News critique, towards some of Middle America's critique of him at the time.
Murder, conviction, burners, boosters, burglars, ballers, dead, redemption, scholars, fathers dead with kids, and I wish I was fed. Forgiveness, yeah.
That flow's ridiculous.
Yeah, soldier's DNA, born inside.
I love how they're like serving like Wimbledon back and forth on the yeah. I just caught that.
The beast, my expertise checked out in yeah. Soldier's DNA, born inside the beast. My expertise checked out in second grade when I was
Born inside the beast. Often hip hop, especially Kendrick, has referenced the belly of the beast. Makes me think of like Jonah and the whale, Jonah inside the beast. But being inside the belly of the beast, growing up in the ghetto, right? Growing up at rock bottom.
Just DNA, born inside the beast. My expertise checked out in second grade when I was 9. On sale motel, we didn't have nowhere to stay. At 29, I've done so well, hit cartwheel in my estate, and I'm gon' shine.
29, right? At 9, hotel. 29, so well. Just love the way that, again, he's betting those internal schemes, man. Everything is very well intricately laced with the rhymes.
Where to stay at 29, I've done so well, hit cartwheel in my estate, and I'm gon' shine like I'm supposed to. Antisocial extrovert, and excellent meaning extra work, and absentness, what the fuck you hurt, and passiveness never struck my nerve, and that's a riff gonna plead this case. The reason my power's here, salute the truth from the prophecy. Promise I'ma do, say never coming back, my nigga, so you better go harder.
Always Kendrick teasing other tracks in the middle of his own music video, interrupting himself with just little Easter eggs and connections, man. Like I said, like just this energy and the thought process. The devil's always in the details.
Another dead nigga association.
I got loyalty, got royalty inside
This is
my
why
DNA.
I say that hip-hop has done more damage to young African Americans than racism in recent years.
There it is from Fox News and Geraldo.
This is my heritage, I'm inheriting money and power, the mecca emeritus. Tell me something, you motherfuckers can't tell me nothing. I'd rather die than to listen to you.
I love how he like just kind of leans in to it, right? Like playing dice on the corner and leaning into his culture. In response, what's playing in the background? It was the Fox News lines. It's almost like I'm not going to let you critique me. I'm going to lean into these things that you want to critique of me and my people and my culture. And I'm going to wear it like armor so you can't touch me. What are you going to do about it?
I'm inheriting money and power, the mecca emeritus.
Even that money and power, the mecca of marriages. Man, I love that line.
Something, you motherfuckers can't tell me nothing. I'd rather die than to listen to you. My DNA not for imitation. Your DNA an abomination. This how it is when you in the matrix, dodging bullets, reaping what you're sowing, stacking up the footage, living on the go and sleeping in the villa, sipping from a Grammy, walking in the building, diamond in the ceiling, marble on the floors, beaches out the window, peeking out the window, baby in the pool, Godfather goes, only Lord knows. I've been going hammer, dodging paparazzi, freaking through the cameras, eating 4 daughters, Brock wearing sandals, yoga on a Monday, stretching to November, watching all the snakes, curving all the fakes, phone never own, I don't conversate, I don't compromise, I just penetrate, sex, money, murder, these are the breaks, these are the times, level number 9, look up in the sky, tennis on the way, sentence on the way, Guinness on the way, motherfucker, I got winners on the way, you ain't shit without a buddy on your belt, you ain't shit without a ticket on your plate, you ain't sick enough to put it on yourself, you ain't rich enough to hit the ladder skate, tell me when destruction gonna be my fate, gonna be a fate, gonna be a fate, peace to the world, let it rotate, sex, money, murder, our DNA.
Real nigga in my DNA. Ain't no hoe inside my DNA. Dripping gold inside my DNA. Power shows inside my DNA. DNA. Real nigga in my DNA. Ain't no hoe inside my
DNA.
Again, gonna rep the gang signs. Gonna rep the side where we're from, right? And that, again, feels like just a meta breaking of the fourth wall. Like, you want to critique this street culture and what I do and saying I'm taking away from hip-hop. I'm just a product of this. And I'm a reflection of this. And I use this within my art. I'll tell you what, though. This beat switch is one of the dopest beat switches in hip-hop. And it's nasty. And Mike Will Made It did an interview and said that when Kendrick did this second verse, right? I've done this before. And I'm always a fan of, like, when you have like a beat inside your head. And Kendrick just laid it down a cappella. And Mike just said he went absolutely off. And then what they did is in post-production, Mike Will made it, then went back and put the beat over top of it and figured out how to doctor in the beat. And he said he wanted it to be like this organized chaos, right? Just matching almost like a battle between Kung Fu Kenny and the beat itself. And you can hear kind of this just sonic dissonance as Kendrick is just on another planet with his flow and his just consistent pattern, just going absolutely off. Like, where does he even breathe with oxygen? And you just hear the beat doing the same thing. And then you also have the Rick James cut. Shout out to Rick James, man. But give me some ganja is what keeps getting cut in, right? Give me some ganja. Rick James said that at a show, like, pass me the weed. So he cuts that in and flips that into it. It's smooth, man. I'm always a fan of when you take like a vocal sample and you cake that and you layer it into the instrumentation itself and make it just a natural part of the beat. Really dope element.
This is my heritage, I'm inheriting money and power, the mecca emeritus. Tell me something, you motherfuckers can't tell me nothing. I'd rather die than to listen to you. My DNA not for imitation, your DNA in the
rather die than to listen to you. I just love how he looks up right there in the casket. Nah, it ain't my time yet.
I'd rather die than to listen to you. My DNA not for imitation, your DNA an abomination. This how it is when you in the matrix, dodging bullets, reaping what you're sowing, stacking up the footage, living.
It's how you feel when you're in the Matrix, right? Keanu Reeves literally dodges bullets in the Matrix. Kendrick's probably feeling like he's dodged bullets because he's still alive in Compton.
Nation, this how it is when you in the matrix, dodging bullets, reaping what you're sowing, stacking up the footage, living on the go and sleeping in the villa, sipping from a Grammy, walking in the building, diamond in the ceiling, marble, living on the go and sleeping in the villa, sipping from a Grammy, walking in the building.
Snoop and Pac, rest in peace.
Building, diamond.
Yo, isn't that ironic though? That those are the two figures that Drake took and used AI on in his diss on Kendrick.
Building diamond in the ceiling, marble on the floors, beaches out the window, peeking out the window, baby in the pool, Godfather goes, only Lord knows I've been.
Baby in the pool, Godfather goals. Right, we on that mafioso-ish, but also we live in that luxury lifestyle. And again, he's illustrating. He's just painting marble floors, painting different pictures of his wealth and what he's risen from and what he's become. But Baby in the Pool, pay attention because this ties in.
The window, peeking out the window, baby in the pool, Godfather goes, only Lord knows I've been going hammer, dodging paparazzi, freaking through the cameras, eating 4 daughters, Brock wearing sandals, yoga on a Monday, stretching to Nirvana, watching all the snakes.
Yoga on a Monday, and I love how he says Nirvana. Right? Like in yoga, when you meditate, you're trying to reach nirvana versus obviously Baby in the Pool, Nirvana, their famous album cover with the baby in the pool with the dollar bills, never mind, Nirvana. And then he's got a line a little bit later about not being sick enough to pull it, right? Kurt Cobain committing suicide, pulling it versus not being sick enough. I feel like all that kind of ties in breadcrumbs with the Nirvana lines, as well as being just a dope double for yoga and Nirvana and stretching to it, stretching out the money and everything that he's doing.
Be in the pool, Godfather goes, only Lord knows I've been going hammer, dodging paparazzi, freaking through the cameras, eating 4 daughters, Brock wearing sandals, yoga on a Monday, stretching to Nirvana, watching all the snakes, curving all the fakes, phone never own, I don't camera.
Watching all the snakes, curving all the fakes, I'm dodging them versus obviously a snake with curves.
I don't compromise, I just penetrate, sex, money, murder, these are the breaks.
I don't compromise. I just penetrate. And then obviously he leans on the penetration. Like, I penetrate your mind. I just break through, right? I'm not waving white flags. And we know, I mean, that's been his motto, right? He's warned us many times of how he's going to be. When he first fired shots in response to first-person shooter, he was penetrating, right? He wasn't waving white flags and compromising. He was not collabing either.
Other times, level number 9, look up, I just been watching all the snakes, curving all the fakes, phone never own, I don't conversate, I don't compromise, I just penetrate, sex, money, murder, these are the.
And obviously penetrate leans into the sex, and then he says sex, money, murder. These are the times I don't conversate, because he does really keep to himself. A lot of people have talked about this, just the monk-like nature of Kendrick. He stays very withdrawn, very in his own world.
These are the times, level number 9, look up in the sky, tennis on the way, tennis on the way, tennis on the way.
And also shout out to the song, These Are the Breaks too. Just another little nod and homage.
Motherfucker, I got winners on the way. You ain't shit without a buddy on your belt. You ain't shit without a ticket on your plate. You ain't sick enough to pull it on yourself. You ain't rich enough to hit the ladder skate. Tell me.
You ain't sick enough to pull it on yourself. I feel like that's still a Nirvana Kurt Cobain reference as well, leaning into that. Like, you're not sick in the head versus you're not sick enough. You're not gangster enough. I feel like there's like a subtle innuendo double right there on top of that. Like literally being sick in the head versus you're not ill enough. in terms of this environment and a product of it.
Ticket on your plate, you ain't sick enough to
Ticket on your plate, like a ticket on your license plate versus having a meal ticket on your plate.
wait. You ain't shit without a buddy on your belt. You ain't shit without a ticket on your
You ain't shit without a body on your belt, right? You walking around catching bodies versus obviously like Western gunslingers, right? They used to have notches on their belts for all the bodies that they would catch. So ain't shit without a body on your belt. Smooth flip.
You ain't sick enough to pull it on yourself. You ain't rich enough to hit the light and skate. Tell me when destruction gonna be my fate. Gonna be a fate
You ain't sick enough to hit the lot and skate, right? I'm hitting that lot. Give me all of it. Give me all those cars, man.
on yourself. You ain't rich enough to hit the light and skate. Tell me when destruction gonna be my fate. Gonna be a fate. Gonna be a fate. Peace to the world. Let it rotate. Sex, money, murder, DNA.
Right? This sort of destruction in this biblical ended times, I feel like Kendrick Lamar leans into it and uses this theme throughout. And let's catch this.
Sleeping in the villa, sipping from a Grammy, walking in the building, diamond in the ceiling, marble on the floors, beaches out the window, peeking out the window, baby in the pool, Godfather goes, only Lord knows, I've been going hammer, dodging paparazzi.
Man, I could play this 100 times and just continue to appreciate it.
Freaking through the cameras, eat it for $4, Brock wearing sandals, yoga on a Monday, stretching to November.
That crazy cut it. Gimme, 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 gimme.
Watching all the snakes, curving all the fakes, phone never own, I don't conversate, I don't compromise, I just penetrate, sex, money, murder, these are the breaks, these are the times, level number 9, look up in the sky, tennis on the way.
These are the times. To me, I take that as a reference to Armageddon, end of times, right? Because we've talked about how Kendrick likes to use religious references throughout. He had the Hebrew. He had the Immaculate Conception reference before. But right here, look up in the sky, number 9. Book of Exodus. Moses and the 10 plagues on Egypt, right? The 9th plague was darkness of the skies, total darkness. Look up in the sky. It's darkness, right? These are the times. And then he leans into 10 is on the way, right? 10 is the death of all firstborns.
Killing's on the way, motherfucker, I got
Killing's on the way. When he says 10 is on the way, then he says killing is on the way. So to me, that's just a subtle, like, if you know, you know. You got to look deeper into the layers of Kendrick's lyricism to tie in that Exodus and the 10 plagues reference. Really dope, though. Love that.
when it's on the way. You ain't shit without a buddy on your belt. You ain't shit without a ticket on your plate. You ain't sick enough to pull it on yourself. You ain't rich enough to hit the light and skate. Tell me when destruction gonna be my fate. Gonna be a fate. Gonna be a fate. Peace to the world. Let it rotate. Sex, money, murder, DNA.
I love how he says peace to the world and then sex, money, murder in our DNA. Just again, that paradox that he walks.
DNA.
Yeah, man.
Real nigga in my DNA. Ain't no
Then you just hear this bass like a heartbeat, man.
hoe inside
The tension.
my DNA.
It's smooth, but also there's foreshadowing.
Been gold inside my DNA. Power shows inside my DNA. DNA. Real nigga in my DNA. Ain't no hoe inside my
Bam. What a dope video, but also just lyrically, man. Like you talk about, I think what Kendrick does really well that I really enjoy is like he's a little bit in the mold of like an Aesop Rock, where he gives you some of these symbolic, metaphorical bars. And if you want to peel back the layers and find them, they're there artistically. And they can be interpreted and taken in a number of angles in a number of ways. But also, he's able to paint realist pictures as well, right? He doesn't have to stay in this realm of being metaphorical, of being symbolic all the time. Like he comes out of that and he taps more into just this realist illustrations of shit that he's been through. And then obviously you combine that with his MCing ability, right? With the rhyme writing that we talked about, just the flows, the great artistic concepts. And then for me, the videos and just how he constantly ties in moments from his discography, certain themes, and just keeps it all fluid, man. Like this is the definition of a true artist. Love the authenticity. Kendrick Lamar, you were Knox Hill certified. Hope you guys like today's video. Listen, we're here at the end. Obviously, enjoy the content. Listen, a lot goes into these breakdowns. If you want to support the channel and everything that I do, subscribe, notifications on. It all helps. Also, don't forget to copy merch, knoxhilldmv.com. We got hats, we got shirts, we got hoodies, everything you need. If you want to rep the brand, if you want to support, get it out there. It all helps. It all goes a long way. Also, don't forget, I got shows on the way. Coming to Denver. I'm coming to DC. If you guys want to come through, if you want to see me live, the links will be down there. All right, everyone. Stay safe, stay positive. Take care of these, take care of these. I'll catch you again.
You know I'm going now with a bang. Bang. Tell them leave the bag in a bang. Bang. You should check the tags where we hang. Hang. You know I'm going now with a bang. Know I'm going now with a bang. Bang. Tell them leave the bag in a bang. Bang.